Hey there, YouTube. It's Kurt here. Today I'm bringing you a video in GOAT format. I've really been enjoying GOAT format lately, and there's a lot of text out there, and a lot of these texts can be sometimes spicy. Even in the year 2024, where there's been 20 years of metagame, little things pop up that people consider, and sometimes people change things around. Today we're going to talk about Graverobber. Graverobber is a very interesting card. When you use Graverobber, you will snipe, essentially select a spell from your opponent's graveyard. Really simple. You can use it as your hand. It's worded really weirdly, but essentially if you activate it, you take 2,000 points of damage. Also, if you discard it, it has been ruled that if you discard it, like with Card Destruction or Raigeki Break, you will also take the damage as well. So, on the surface, basically GOAT format, I like to consider it Trinity format because a lot of people have moved away from Scapegoat, but virtually every deck plays Graceful Charity, Pot of Greed, and Delinquent Duo, and these are probably the most impactful cards of the format. And getting to recycle those with Magician of Faith or Graverobber is a really good prospect. So most decks, even a lot of aggro decks, will play Magician of Faith just for the opportunity to recycle some of those really powerful spells. But Graverobber, a lot of people don't play Graverobber. So why is that? Well, it's actually it's very dependent on your opponent already drawing a really good spell or a decent spell to get the prospect of potentially going +1 with Pot of Greed or getting that Graceful Charity. So it's dependent on essentially being really good mid to late game. So if it's really good mid to late game, what you're going to find yourself in situation wise is that many games you really won't have that many life points to work with if you're getting to it mid to late game. So especially if you're going against aggro strategies or warrior or against burn, Graverobber is going to be a very tough sell in that mid to late game. You could use this card as a discard for something like Raigeki Break, but again, those life points really do matter. You want cards that are basically almost always live, and Graverobber, well, it's not always going to be live in a very meaningful way. You can see a lot of decks do play a lot of decent spells. At the very least, you could Upstart Goblin, but even then, if you Graverobber for an Upstart Goblin, it's, that's a 3,000 life point swing, and this is a format where life points do actually matter. So yeah, that's a good overview, a very simple explanation as to why this card doesn't see that much play. If this card only had 500 points of cost, I think it would see a lot more play. But 2,000, yeah, for a mid to late game card, it's starting to ask quite a lot. We're actually going to do one replay of where this card actually was tested out and actually did reasonably well. So, we're going to get in this game here and show you a situation in which it was absurd. Now, you can probably already see exactly how this is absurd. I think the opponent definitely does misplay there, doing a pretty outdated burn strategy in my opinion. But, yeah, we'll just go ahead and go through the motions. We do open up pretty well. We open up our Greed, and Greed is always good. So, yeah, go ahead and get the Suction Cup over here. Get the Desk Koala. And honestly, yeah, we get to this point. Do we get Lava Golemed here? Yeah, if the opponent does not Lava Golem, I don't know why the opponent didn't Lava Golem there. That's really suspect in my opinion. But anyway, so we're going to go our Card Destruction because the opponent doesn't have very much, and then we get into the Graverobber. And so the opponent has to top pretty well from here. They top Ukazi. Ukazi is a card. Don't know why they played Ukazi, but yeah, we get into here, and as soon as we get the Heavy Storm, they concede. So that is a situation where it is kind of cheesy, but that took 7 turns in order to, yeah, Graverobber, we draw it, and after 7 turns, it became extremely relevant. So it's not exactly a very fast card. And honestly, GOAT format has evolved to the point where it is a lot faster than it was in years past. And even in a slower format, there's a reason why decks like Chaos Turbo are really effective. You want cards that are basically live as soon as you draw them, or you could potentially do something with them. Thunder Dragon, even though it doesn't doesn't do, quote-unquote, all that much. It does thin your deck immediately. As soon as you see Thunder Dragon, chances are you're going to search 2 out of your deck and thin your deck. So it does serve a function. But Graverobber on the opening hand, it doesn't serve that much of a function. Serpent has the potential to serve a function, etc., etc. I think you know where I'm going with this. Every card here, if you open it, it does have the potential to do something. Where Graverobber, you do definitely have to wait for it to be meaningful. And a lot of times, you'll be waiting many, many turns for it to be meaningful, or else it'll be a blank card, and then it does come with some cost. That's a good summary for why this tech is rarely used. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for more techs. Tech videos about cards in GOAT format. Thank you, guys. Check out American Time Machine for some great music if you're into that.